Yes, everyone can see you good. You're in the public chat room. Sebastian, is this your solution with, okay, great, he says, good. This is an interesting solution, right, Jim Bob and Mark? It looks like what we're doing is touching on the new Metro UI.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, first glance, this is my favorite UI that I've seen so far. At first glance.
Okay. First glance. I'm going to run through, Sebastian, what I saw you do in the video, and you can type quickly into the chat room if there's anything that you would like to expand upon. But what he has is the 4-part menu here. The articles are listed here in the Metro interface, and we can sort by A to Z or Z to A this way. Now, I am trying to figure out what is it sorting on. Is it sorting on the words in the title, or is it sorting on the date? And when I click, it looks like it's sorting on the article title. Jim Bob, let me get some feedback from you on that for the articles being listed directly like that. What do you think?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, you come right to it. Obviously, if you know what your feeds are and things that you want to look at, it'd be nice to have those right up front, especially since it's by date. By default, the first thing that I'm going to see is the most recent. So I think that's a great way to start off when you're coming into this view, is that you get to see the most recent things. Being able to sort it. Also, there's the abilities to filter just on the last week, the last month, get the entire feed. All of those aspects are also nice here too.
Good, thank you, Mark Fiddleman. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the sort by date. I don't like the A to Z, Z to A. It makes no sense to me because, a lot of articles start out with a salute to something, or, there's some article that's in front of the main title that makes it, you never be able to find it that way. I would sort it by popularity. I don't know what the color codes mean here, but I'd sort it some other way, either by, our number of times the article's been shared within your network, or the popularity of the article, somehow measuring that.
Mark, I think if I remember Sebastian correctly, the color of the article determines what category it's in. We need some kind of a legend to show us what the category is, I think. End user, developer, IT pro, things like that. It's a homemade category, Sebastian said. All right, cool.
I'd also change the size depending on how popular it is, or some other metric. But other than that, again, it's still my favorite so far.
Okay, let's go to the feeds and see what we've got. One of the things he said is if you sit here for a second, some of these feeds will flip over so that you can actually see those images you were looking for. I don't know how smooth that is in the WebEx environment, but as I'm looking at it, it's very smooth.
Yeah, it's pretty smooth even in the WebEx.
Yeah.
I'm going to click on Valdex because I like Valdex a lot, and he does a lot of good stuff. Goes directly to his and gives us the feeds back in the Metro interface again. Sort by date or do it by alphabetical. I have to agree, Sebastian, that I don't see any value whatsoever in doing alphabetical sort. I do like the date. If there was a way to trick it out and actually get the most views and things like that, as Mark said, you've got much more added value here than the A to Z. Mark, I'll go to you first. How do you like the way he's handling the feeds?
Well, I love the way he handles the original feeds. I don't know why he can't do that with the articles, show images. But again, I really like what he's done so far here.
Jim Bob.
I agree. And I think what you guys are talking about as far as the sorting A to Z is it's kind of pointless because of the titles. So there needs to be some other way that we can sort these things. Maybe by a tag, and so you can filter by that. If I come with Valdex articles, I want to be able to say, oh, I want these specific types of articles. So maybe a filter by a tag once I'm down to that level would also be helpful too.
Nice. I'm going to go to the search, and this is one of, I like what he did here. Let's see if we put in Mark Anderson's name and see what can come up here. I'll do A-N-D-E-R, and I know this worked earlier. There we go. So I'll do that. Let's see, Anderson, and make the whole thing here. Just to show, Mark, that we haven't forgotten you just because Jim Bob's sitting in your seat. But someone had asked for this earlier, some kind of search mechanism. Jim Bob, how do you like the way the search works?
It works great. I like it. It's nice and fast. It makes it real easy. The first thing I think of though is we search for Mark Anderson, and it's obvious that the orange ones are Mark's, and then all the blue ones are other things that reference Mark, and so Mark is mentioned in the article as opposed to things that are specifically by Mark. So it'd be nice if when I'm doing my search, I can say that I'm looking for a subject, I'm looking for an author, those types of things, looking for it to be specifically in the title. More of the library aspect of what it specifically that I'm looking for. Am I looking for keywords? But certainly just straight out of the box, put in a word and have it show up quickly. All the things that include that word is a great interface.
Thanks. Mark Fiddleman, I think you were asking for search, right?
Yeah, I was asking for search. He's done an adequate job at the top level. I would have more filtering options, as Jim Bob said, and specifically would be one by date, because we're getting different dates here. I understand it's category then date, if I'm looking at this correctly, but I do it by date and then by whether the person wrote the article or is mentioned in the article. I just looked at Google search to see how you could potentially filter this, but very, very good job. Not taking anything away from.
Let's go to the feeds. So we've got the feeds here. We've seen this like that. So I'm going to just click on another article. Good. So that seems to work. The problem I'm seeing here, there's the articles there. Now we're back. Okay, good. That seems to work. Sebastian, is there anything else? If you could quickly type it. You can click an article if you want to. Okay, good. I'll click one of those. Nice modal window pops up right on top of it. And then I'm going to scroll down that a little bit, see if I can get down to the bottom of it. It actually showed the whole article because it didn't do a summary feed. Okay, good. And if I click on the title, it actually goes to the site itself. All right. Mark, I'll start with you first. How do you like the way that handles display of articles?
I love it. I like the light box, and then if you want to click through the overall article, even better. Again, the only thing I would do here is add a thumbnail image at the beginning of this, but very, very nicely done.
Jim Bob.
I agree. Nothing else to add. That's a nice interface.
Okay, very nice and intuitive. Sebastian, do you want to call it a day there since you've gotten some good feedback so far, or else you can go for the gold here. I think you're doing good here. Thanks, good. So, Jim Bob, I'll let you start with the wrap up on this one.
All right. One question I have is how do we add a feed, or how do we add more to this? Obviously, I'm looking at things that have already been loaded in here, but how do I add?
He said to go to the About, and you can use RSS feeds, and you can upload OPML.
Very good. Okay, then that's good. I like the interface. I think you've done a great job with that, Sebastian. It's very nice. It's very clean. Definitely the addition of some graphics will be nice. Being able to determine what it is that I'm searching on. I like one extra feature because you've already done the favorites, which we didn't really talk about. Everything that has a star on it is the favorite. And so when you're searching by feeds, it has the favorites. It automatically sorts by favorites at the top, and then you can look at all the articles. I think that's a great feature. When I'm doing a search, I probably want it to default to give me my favorites. So if I'm searching for Mark Miller, I want to look among my favorites for that first, and then I want to go beyond that. So I think that's a little extra thing that you can add. A legend would be great to know what the different colors mean, even if it's something that I set up myself. I still want to be able to remember why I made that orange, or why I make that pink. So those types of things would be helpful as well. The rest of my comments, I think, just throughout this can kind of sum up the rest. It's a very nice interface.
Great, thank you, Mark.
Yeah, I have to echo what Jim Bob says. I'm going to talk about things that can make this better, but it's not because I don't love what I've seen. I do. I think you could take this and really bring it to the next level. I didn't see any social sharing. I think that's missing. I also didn't see, as part of the feeds, how many articles haven't I read in those feeds. It'd be nice to see a little number that it says, you got five more articles to read from Mark Miller, for instance, in the feed section. Maybe a better way we talked about this, a better way to sort the feeds, and then maybe some trends around, what my friends my friends on SharePoint have read or not read. Some kind of analytics, and maybe simple suggestions based on tags or keywords as to what I should be reading. But again, that's bringing it to the very next level. You've only had a week, and I really like what you've done here. I know you said in your video that you're not a UI guy, but I beg to differ. I think you've done a very good job here. You could do more with the Metro interface, but what you've done is fantastic within a week.
All right, good. I want to play devil's advocate here, because I am not enamored with Metro at all. And I know it's supposed to be the wave of the future. But for me, to see giant colored blocks and trying to sift my way through those is not, for me, is not good interface design. And I'm not saying that, Sebastian, against you. I'm talking about Metro in general. So I'm talking, I don't know. I haven't heard anybody talk down Metro before, so I have to be the first, I guess.
I disagree, by the way. It's compared to what lists or how Google Reader does it. I think this is much more visual, much more appealing. I
agree that it's much more visual, Mark, but the first time Steve Ballmer showed us Metro on the Windows Phone at the WPC, I flinched. It's like, are you kidding me? And that's generally the way I feel about Metro. So take what I say with a grain of salt here. If the industry is headed that way and people like it and it's more intuitive than lists, then go for it. That's fine. As far as functionality goes, as far as what the challenge was, I think we've hit a home run here. There's a lot going on here. It's clean. It's easy to navigate through, and the functionality is all there. So I'll say good job. Very nice job, Sebastian. Well done.